There's something nobody tells you when you get older. You hear a lot of warnings, a lot of watch out for this and be careful about that, a lot of numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your step count. But nobody ever stops to say, you know what you're still doing at this age, that's actually remarkable. Because here's the truth most people miss, the majority of people your age have already stopped doing the very things that keep a person sharp, independent, and deeply alive. I'm going to walk you through 6 everyday behaviors that, if you're still doing them, put you in a genuinely rare group. Not rare in a made-up, feel-good way, rare in a real, research-backed, honest way. And I want you to pay attention, not to see what you're missing, but to notice and honor what you're still doing right. Let's begin. Before we get into the list, let me tell you something that changes how you see all of this. Researchers who study aging, not disease, but genuine, healthy aging, have found something quietly extraordinary. The gap between people who age well and people who struggle has very little to do with luck or genetics alone. It has everything to do with a handful of ordinary behaviors. Things people do in their kitchens, their backyards, their living rooms, their relationships. Small, daily things that most people slowly, quietly abandon, not from laziness, but from a lack of encouragement, from loneliness, from the false belief that those things no longer belong to them. What I've done is take those behaviors and distill them into 6 things. 6 things that the people aging with the most vitality, sharpness, and joy tend to still do every single day. As I go through each one, I want you to honestly ask yourself, do I still do this? Because if you do, even most of the time, that means something real, something worth knowing about yourself. Thing number 1, you still move your body on purpose. I'm not talking about running marathons, I'm not talking about the gym. I'm talking about intentional movement, the choice to get up, to walk somewhere, to stretch, to reach for something, to do the gardening, to take the stairs, to stand up and potter around the house rather than sitting still for hours at a stretch. Here's what the research shows. The single greatest predictor of independence in your 80s is not what happens in your 70s, it's how much you keep moving in your 70s. Every deliberate movement you make today is a deposit into an account called Still Being You 10 years from now. And the people who stop, often it's not because their bodies gave out, it's because nobody told them it still counted. Nobody told them that even slow, modest, gentle movement is powerful medicine. If you still move your body on purpose every single day, even a little, you are ahead of more people than you realize. That's not empty praise, that's the honest truth. Give yourself full credit for every step. Thing number 2, you still learn something new. This one surprises people. They assume learning is for the young. They've been told, often without words, that at some point your brain is full or that new information just doesn't stick the way it used to. That is simply not true. What neuroscience has confirmed and keeps confirming is that the brain retains what scientists call neuroplasticity far longer than we used to believe. The brain's capacity to form new connections, to adapt, to grow, it doesn't switch off. It just needs to be used. And learning doesn't mean taking a course or reading a textbook. It means deliberately engaging with something you didn't fully know before, a word you looked up, a recipe you tried for the first time, a grandchild's hobby you asked about and actually listened to, a documentary that changed how you see something. People who keep their minds sharp aren't necessarily the ones who were the smartest. They're the ones who stayed curious. If you still lean toward the world with genuine curiosity, if you still say, I wonder about that, and then actually go and find out, that's a sign of a mind that is aging beautifully. Hold on to that with everything you have. Thing number 3, you still connect with other people. Loneliness in later life has been called, by some researchers, as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I don't say that to frighten you. I say it because the opposite, the antidote, is something you may already be doing, and I want you to understand how extraordinary that is. If you still pick up the phone to call someone, if you still have people you share meals with or conversations with, or even simply sit beside, if you still make the effort to maintain a friendship, to write a letter, to show up for someone, you are doing something that a growing number of people your age have stopped doing entirely. Social withdrawal is one of the quietest dangers of aging. It creeps in through loss, through mobility changes, through the feeling of not wanting to be a burden. And once it sets in, it accelerates everything else. But the people who keep reaching out, who keep showing up however imperfectly for the people in their lives, they live longer, they stay sharper, they report more happiness, not because life is easy for them, but because they have people to share it with. If you are still someone who connects, never let anyone make you feel that's a small thing. It is one of the most life-sustaining things a human being can do. Thing number 4, you still have a reason to get up in the morning. In Japan, there is a concept called ikigai. It roughly translates to the reason you get up in the morning, the feeling that your day has a point, that you are needed, that something or someone is waiting for your presence. Studies on the longest-lived people in the world in Okinawa, in Sardinia, in the highlands of Costa Rica, consistently find that a sense of purpose is one of the most powerful factors in longevity and well-being. Not wealth, not medical access, purpose. Your reason to get up doesn't have to be grand, it doesn't have to impress anyone. It might be a garden you tend, a grandchild you're raising or mentoring, a creative project, a community you contribute to, a faith, a commitment, a simple routine that gives shape to your days. The question is not whether your purpose looks important by the world's standards. The question is, does it matter to you? Does it give your days a spine? If you still wake up with something to move toward, even on the hard days, then you have something that many people spend their whole lives searching for and never quite find. That is not a small thing, that is everything. Thing number 5, you still take care of yourself. Not perfectly, not obsessively, but still intentionally. I mean the quiet daily act of treating your own body and mind as something worth caring for, eating with some thoughtfulness, getting to your appointments, taking your medications as prescribed, getting enough sleep or at least trying to, paying attention to how you feel and acting on it, rather than dismissing every symptom as just old age or ignoring your needs because you don't want to be a bother. Self-care in later life carries a particular kind of dignity. It is the act of saying, I am still worth looking after. And that quiet declaration, made through small choices every day, has profound effects on how the years unfold. Many people reach a point in later life where they begin to give up on themselves. Not dramatically, not all at once, just a little less effort here, a little more resignation there, a slow withdrawal from the very things that sustain them. If you are still showing up for yourself, still trying, still tending, still making the small, unglamorous choices of self-respect, that's a form of courage most people won't recognize until much later. Recognize it now, you deserve to. Thing number 6, you still know how to find something to be grateful for. I saved this one for last because it's the one that ties everything else together, and it's the one that is most likely to be misunderstood. I am not talking about toxic positivity. I am not asking you to pretend that hard things aren't hard, that loss isn't real, that aging doesn't ask things of you that are genuinely difficult. What I'm talking about is a different kind of skill. A real cognitive and emotional skill, one that, like a muscle, either gets stronger with use or quietly fades. It's the capacity to hold difficulty and beauty at the same time, to have a hard week and still notice that the light through the window was particularly lovely on Tuesday morning, to grieve what's gone and still feel something that resembles warmth when the right person walks through the door. Research on psychological resilience in older adults consistently finds that the ability to experience gratitude, not forced, not performed, but genuine, is one of the strongest buffers against depression, against cognitive decline, and against the kind of inner emptiness that can hollow out the later years. The people aging most beautifully aren't the ones with the easiest lives. They're the ones who kept their eyes open for what was still worth seeing. If you still have that, even imperfectly, even on hard days, then you have something that took a lifetime to build. And it is yours. Now I want to ask you something, and I'd like you to really sit with it for a moment. How many of those 6 things do you still do? Not perfectly, not every single day without exception, but genuinely as a part of who you are. Because here's what I want you to understand. If you recognized yourself in even 3 or 4 of those, you are not just aging adequately, you are aging with a rare and real kind of vitality. The culture around aging does a poor job of honoring this. It celebrates youth, it fears decline, It rarely stops to say to someone who has lived 75, 80, 85 years, look at what you're still doing. Look at what you've built inside yourself over all those decades. Look at how quietly extraordinary you actually are. So I'm saying it now. The fact that you're here watching this, thinking about these things, willing to ask yourself honest questions about how you're living, that itself is one of the 6 things. That's curiosity. That's self-awareness. That's the refusal to give up on your own life. You may not feel rare. You may feel ordinary. You may feel tired some days. You may feel like the world has moved on without you, or like the things you once did so easily now take more effort than they used to. That's real. I'm not here to dismiss any of that. But I am here to tell you what you're still doing matters more than you know. And the people who understand that, who keep going anyway, who keep choosing, who keep showing up, they are the ones who write the most remarkable final chapters. Before you go, I want to ask you to do one thing. In the comments below, tell me which of these 6 things you felt most proud of. Which one, when you heard it, made you think, yes, that one, I still do that. I read those comments, and I can tell you when people share those moments honestly, it does something to the people who read them. It reminds them they're not alone. It encourages someone who was about to give up. It starts a conversation that matters. You have wisdom and experience that the world still needs. A comment from you isn't small. It might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If this video felt true to you, if it said something you needed to hear, please share it with someone in your life who might need to hear it too. A friend, a sibling, a spouse, someone who might be doubting themselves. And if you'd like more conversations like this one about living fully, aging honestly, and finding meaning in every decade, hit subscribe. We do this here. Thank you for watching, thank you for still being curious, and thank you for still being here. That is everything.